How's it going, guys? Thanks for stopping by again for video number 2. So I'm back in Nashville already. I didn't stay in Granville long. I had to go back in and go by work because that's where I store my butane canisters, and I needed a couple of them. For cooking tonight and making coffee and stuff. So I came on back to town, and I probably would have just headed on over toward the Knoxville area, maybe even Gatlinburg. But, I thought I only get 2 days off, and I left all my fuel for cooking and heating. So I went back by work, got a couple of cans of that. Now I'm back in Nashville. I'm at a park here, and I'm just going to street park tonight. Um, the house sitting gigs, I am going to have one more in March. I talked to them today, and they're going to be leaving town again for 2 weeks in March. I'm not going to be hitting the road and becoming fully nomadic until April 1st. So it'd be great if it would work out to where I would have, the last 2 weeks that I was actually here to be house sitting. It would give me plenty of time to get those last things I got to get done. Like installing the cargo rack and the hitch and that kind of thing. And then my plan is when I actually leave Nashville to hit the road, I'm actually going to go spend some time with my father first down in Georgia. And before I actually head out west, it'd be a great time to spend time with him. And I won't have to hurry back to go anywhere. And when I hit the road, I'll be leaving out of Columbus, Georgia. And I think what I'll do is I'll go down. I think I'll go down to I-10 around Pensacola, hit I-10 in Pensacola, and then take it all the way west. I'll go through Biloxi. I'll go through all of Louisiana, and then maybe around Beaumont. That would be a full day of driving. I would, sleep somewhere around Beaumont, Texas. I don't know if it'd be like a travel stop place or whatever. I'll figure it out. And then plan out my days. I could get to the west. I'd like to spend some time in Texas. I have some friends in Texas, and let's see, one's in Dallas and San Antonio, Austin. Probably spend some time in Texas before I meander on to New Mexico and Arizona and spend the spring, in that area. And then as it starts getting warmer, you want to get out of there. So I would head on up to higher elevation in the Rockies and Colorado. And if the border's open, I've only used my passport one time in my life. So I would love to use it again. I would like to trek on into Canada and spend some time up there until it got, too cold in the winter. And then start heading back down to the desert. And so I guess we need to talk about finances. I've got a deal in the works. I don't want to speak too much about it because I don't want to jinx it. Turns out I have something valuable that I've had since I was 7 years old. And I think I got a buyer for it. It could finance my travels for a good while. I wouldn't have to work for quite a while. So keep your fingers crossed on that. That might be the best thing ever. And if I have to stay a little longer past April to make that deal happen, I'll do it. Because in the long run, it could set me up for a year of travel. So it's huge. It's huge. It's a huge deal. So I just don't want to jinx it. I don't want to get, count all my eggs before they hatch. I don't want to think too much about it because it might not happen. That's okay. I've got my plan to, I should be able to go for an entire season, like 3 or 4 months, before I have to work for a month or two. So that's going to be a great balance because I'm going to be ready to work after. Can you imagine being off for 3 or 4 months? Back when I was furloughed because of COVID, remember how I was going stir crazy after about 3 weeks? I was so ready to go back to work, and they wouldn't let me come back. So I was off on furlough for 100 days, and that was just, it was too much. So full retirement, I don't see how people do it. I guess as you get older, you lose your desire to do anything but just sit and watch TV. At least that's what elderly people have told me in the past. They say, we kind of wanted to do this and that. Well, then we got sick, and, they worked their whole life thinking when we get old and retire, we're going to go and travel and we're going to do this, and then one of them gets cancer or heart problems or something, and then they end up just sitting on the couch for the next few years till they die. That's just sad, but that's the way it is, and I don't want to be that way. I got to do this now while I first have the desire to do it. Second, have the health to do it. And, you know, uh, there's just no way I'm going to go down that way of working my life away with what really amounts to a pipe dream. Retirement for most is a pipe dream. It's only worked for a handful of people I actually know. And a few of my family members have worked. They did a 30-year career. They was like school teacher or something. But it was always a government job where they got a pension. Private sector used to give good pensions. Well, you know, they've just decided they're going to screw you after 30 years of employment. And pension is a archaic word now. It doesn't even exist in the American vocabulary. You've got to get lucky with the stock market. You've got to do other things. The stock market, it's not exactly like gambling. Some people say it's just like gambling. No, it's not, but it's real close. It is real close. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I'm just not going to go down that route. It's the chances of it actually panning out in your favor are slim to none. I'm going to do this traveling and adventuring while I can. I've planned the best I can plan. I have done all I can do. I've just got to stay in this job 2 more months because I have responsibilities. I have to do it 2 more months. And plus, that extra 2 months is going to come in handy financially. So, what else can we cover today? I just made a pot of soup. Guess you can kind of see the little stove sitting there. I love that little stove. Other than the flaw about hooking up a propane tank to it, it's a great little stove. Gas One is the name of it. Let me get a little more light going. That's better. But yeah, I just really don't have anything else to do this evening. I'm not going to go meet any friends. I have stayed to myself for, I guess, the last 6 weeks. I haven't interacted with anybody except when I'm at work. As far as social life, that has not existed. I was a little reckless in the beginning of the COVID thing. I guess I didn't take it serious enough. Didn't really know what to believe. But now, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm, staying away from crowds and all that. And hopefully we can get some kind of life before too long. It is what it is, and we got to deal with it. Got to roll with the punches. Keep your chin up, folks. Take care. Be well. Smash a bell.